man, congratulations to the Cards. Schedule makers really helped them out here. They got to host the best team in the NL Central for 5 games. And what do they get to do to follow up? Here's the best team in the NL East coming to town. Pretty good pitching matchup, though, in game 1 of a 3-game set before the MLB All-Star break. It's Sale and Leahy. How are you looking to bet this Braves and Cards game, Teddy?
Yeah, of course. We always start by looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen. And right now, I'm seeing Atlanta in the minus 160 to minus 170 range. If you shop around, you can find a little bit better. Total 8. Some books juice to the over, some books juice to the under. No clear take on that total. From a situational standpoint, the Braves played early start yesterday in Pittsburgh, which is a benefit, but then they're returning home, which is a negative. The Cards played an evening game at home, which is a negative because they played later, but then traveled, which is a non-factor. So any early start edge for Atlanta mitigated by the fact they returned home while St. Louis prepped. So the Cardinals have been very good on the first game of road trips, for what it's worth. They lost the very first one of the season back on April 3rd. Since that, 6-1 in 7 tries in the first game of a road trip. The only other game 1 loss was a game where at Kansas City, a wild game at Kansas City. They ended up giving 14 runs in that contest. But they've been good in games like this at Atlanta, and Atlanta hasn't been good. I mean, this team was 45-21. I know they're still in first place in the NL East, but they were 45-21 back on June 7th after sweeping the Pirates. Since then, they're 10-17, and that includes going 2-1 against the Pirates this past week. Now, the Bats have heated up. They scored 61 runs in the last 9 games, had a 10-run outburst yesterday, but as we know in the big leagues, a 10-run outburst yesterday doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have another one today. And Kyle Leahy, you talked about it, Dan, when you brought up these 2 starters. Kyle Leahy helped my clients and I cash a 3% under in his last start. He threw 5 innings of shutout ball. Every bit as good in his previous start. He's given up a grand total of 5 hits and 1 run with 11 strikeouts in his last 2 outings. His last 3 starts, he's given up a grand total of 1 run allowed. And one of those games gone under. Now, like St. Louis is hitting right now. They've hit, 175. Scored only 17 runs in their last 5 ball games. And they're going up against Chris Sale, who is pitching like an ace. Atlanta went 4-5. They went 6-1 in his first 7 starts, 4-5 in his last 9. So that has a lot to do with the Braves cooling off and the Braves bullpen cooling off. But opposing teams in Sale starts, I'm just going to run the numbers: 3-3, 3-2, 7, 2-1, 2-3, 1-2, 1-1, 6, 1-0. That's 16 starts, and opposing teams have scored more than 3 runs only twice. And you'll laugh at the 2 teams. It was the Angels and the Blue Jays. Like, why those 2 teams? I can't tell you. But Sale's been really good, even though the team is only 4-5 in his last 9 starts. That being said, he's allowed 8 earned runs in 46 innings of work at home this season. So St. Louis isn't hitting. St. Louis is a good pitcher on the hill. Atlanta's hitting, but they got a real pitcher on the hill. I'm looking under in this ballgame. The market's looking under. I'm looking under. If you want a first 5, I wouldn't talk you out of it. But I think full game makes perfect sense to this better. Under 8, Braves and Cardinals.
Yeah, probably a reason that thing's stuck painted at 8, says Teddy covers. Teddy, tonight, before we talk this Diamondbacks and Dodgers game, that's your late night bailout special, folks, that we got to play for you coming up. Teddy, an angle that you really like is on the card tonight, and it was enough for a 5%er, my friend. So tell folks about that. We always say don't buy a play, but if you're going to buy a play, use a code that's going to take $10 off, right, my man?
Sure. So, I mean, the promo code for tonight's big ticket, this is my 3rd big ticket of the season in MLB. I don't put out a lot of them. But the promo code, take $10 off, big ticket 10 at checkout. Again, promo code big ticket 10. But this is one of those scenarios where I was doing work for a free play on this show. I don't have it on this show. I was doing work for a free play. And I started noticing, I'm like, wow, this is, wow. It's one of these under the radar angles. I'm like, wow, this is cashed, I think, 12 straight times. It was a free play for 13. Was a client play for 14. Was a big ticket play for 15. I'm riding this angle, man. I'm going to ride it till it dies. It has cashed 15 consecutive times this season. And, oh, by the way, the team that it's backing, plus price today.
Wow.
Big ticket 10, get you $10 off at checkout. I don't put out a lot of big tickets. This one stood out like a sore thumb Check it out. But as you said, Dan, don't buy plays. Get on board with the package. Buy 3 days, get 3 free. We have the special that gets you through get you all the way into football season for $2.99. If you want, again, it's $35. Take $10 off of that promo code, Big Ticket 10. But I encourage you, if you want to get on board, let's partner up and make some money.
Yeah, WT.buzz/TC. And you don't have to remember, any of those specials that he was talking about. We got that triple play all access. That's on his page. We got that buy 3, get 3 days free for just $69. So $25 if you use code BIGTICKET10. That'll get you that 5% play. Like Teddy said, for just a little bit more, you can get some extra access. Get ready to go for this all-star break and be cashing with our man Teddy Covers heading into there. So plenty of ways if you want to get on board. And early access to that win report is also live at Teddy's page. All right, Teddy, enough about that. Let's talk this D-backs and Dodgers game, because you go to the WagerTalk live odds screen and you see Ohtani's name, and then you just say, okay, how do I find a way to bet on the Dodgers? But let's be real. I mean, Ohtani got cleared for this game despite battling a bicep injury, a left knee, and a right hand blister. So Ohtani's coming in here a little bit banged up, but he did get cleared to make this start. So how are you looking to attack Ohtani's final start before he heads to the All-Star break against the Diamondbacks here?
Yeah, the Dodgers obviously in that minus 250 range. If you shop around, you can find plus 220, plus 225 for Arizona. The books that cater to recreational bettors a little bit lower than that. But obviously the Odds Logic live odds screen, the way to go. You can get those free odds. Just visit wagertalk.com. Check out the live odds screen. That's great. But for the full real time, you got to go to Odds Logic. And obviously the Odds Logic subscriptions, worth checking out. You talked a little bit about Ohtani and the injuries that he's had. I want to start this by talking about Eduardo Rodriguez, who just made the All-Star team for the first time in his career at 33 years old. Arizona lost his first 2 starts of the season. Since that time, the D-backs 13-4 in Rodriguez's last 17 starts. They've been winning consistently for him. 6 June starts for Rodriguez. Opposing lineup scored more than 1 earned run once against him. He doesn't throw strikeouts. He's not a strikeout hurler. And what happens when you find a veteran pitcher getting guys out but doesn't strike people out? The betting markets undervalue those type of early. Advanced metrics don't love his performance, and that's why you see Arizona as a $2 plus dog in this ballgame. And again, last time out, 6 innings, 2 runs against the Brewers. He's faced the Dodgers twice this season. 1 run allowed in 11 innings of work. They won 4-1. They lost 3-2. Note the 2 low-scoring nature of those 2 contests. So Eduardo Rodriguez is very much bet on right now. Even against this lineup, even in this spot. The Dodgers started 2-4 in Ohtani's first 6 starts. They give up. By the way, even though they went 2-4, Ohtani gave up 21 hits and 5 runs combined in the 6 games. Every one of them was a quality start, 6 innings or more, 3 innings or less, but they didn't win for him. Since that time, Ohtani's been every bit as good, and the Dodgers have been dominant, 7-1 in his last 8. You talked about the injuries suffered, bicep issues, knee issues, a blister on his hand. But he was cleared to make this start, and I would expect him to be, if not vintage, Shohei Ohtani, pretty darn close. He beat Arizona 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed back in early June. And it's Ohtani is absolutely as bet on gets. And the Dodgers have been bet on. I mean, you can't lay run lines with the Dodgers. Now, their last 4 wins, 3 have been by a single run. In the late June stretch, they went 7-1 and had 6 wins by a single run. They have 17 one-run wins this year, which is bad news for run line players. Only the White Sox have more. But the Dodgers, 37-15 their last 52 games. They're playing 7-10 baseball over a third of the season. And 13-1 off a loss during that span. They didn't lose yesterday, but that is something worth noting moving forward. They've been great off a loss. Both bullpens are in good shape. Bottom line for this one, I think Arizona is liver than most $2 underdogs. I like Rodriguez. That being said, I don't know that I want to step in front of the Dodgers as hot as they've been. So even though the slight lean Arizona's a value play, I'm not getting there. Lean under, lean first, 5 under for this one. I'm not expecting runs in bunches in Dodger Stadium tonight.
Love the breakdown. WT.buzz/TC is where you can get the best bet, the under the radar angle. And folks, okay, he's going to have a play in there, but you also are going to get an angle that Teddy did the work for you on that you can continue to use. So check that out. WT.buzz/TC. Teddy, I'm pumped. We're recording some NFL action after the show here. So more reasons than ever to hit that subscribe button, including some of the solo gamers that you continue to do here on the channel. Teddy, tell folks about it.
Yeah, we've been putting out solo videos, every day. We'll do it all football season, lots of solo videos. We'll do it all basketball season every day. I'm doing these daily doubles. It gives me a chance to talk about games that I'm interested in talking about. It gives you guys a chance, share some opinions, and it gives all of us a chance to enjoy the free content on WagerTalk TV.
Love it. WT.buzz/TC, code Big Ticket 10. Or use some of those other promo codes that are over at the page. Like we said, that all access 5% are rocking tonight for Teddy. So, Andy, you can tell, guy's excited. The guy's excited not just for the play tonight, but that football season looms.